Hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode. I'm Sifu Thommy and this is Mark, who was kind enough to help me today. Today is about a technical principle. It's the principle of push and pull. Whatever we do as far as martial arts is concerned usually has something to do with pulling or pushing. Every punch, every elbow, every knee strike, every headbutt is considered a push. It is something that is coming from you and is going towards your partner. What obviously doesn't work is if you have a partner who's much stronger than you or an opponent who's much stronger than you and he pushes and you push him. For example, if he wants to push me over and I do the same thing, then obviously the person will win who's stronger, right? What I could do instead though is when he pushes, I could pull him. So I could get in contact with him, feel that he pushes, and then pull him slightly sideways so that I can destabilize him. I allow him to do what he wants to do, just more, if that makes sense. Same thing if he pulls me. I'm not going to flex my muscles and allow him to pull me in, but instead I'm going to relax my arms and then follow up with all my force. So if he pulls, I push. If he pushes, I pull. Here's an example for you that I know from class, that I see with my students all the time. If you're familiar with Wing Tsjun, then you know that the first thing we always do is attack. Let's say he puts himself in some kind of posture and we see that there's a gap somewhere. This may be the groin, it may be the knee, it may be the throat, it may be the side of the throat. Then we attack. That's always the first thing we do. We don't wait, we attack. And once again, every attack would be a push, right? Now, sometimes what happens is that he punches me and I apply a technique that we call the wedge. It's a triangular structure that we build here in our arms. And in most cases, when he punches, the wedge will be successfully placed on his arm because it allows his arms to slide past mine a few times. 1, maybe you come in with the left arm on this side. 2, maybe you come with the right arm on this side. 3, maybe you come with the right arm on that side. 4. So that's a first principle that we have in Wing Tsjun. If the way is clear, we move forward, we shoot forward. Then we usually follow up with what we call chain punches, which is probably the most famous technique in Wing Tsjun. So it might look like this, he attacks, and boom, 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 boom. I go in with chain punches right away. Move in, pam, 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 and go follow up with chain punches afterward. And those chain punches are relatively fast, and they're very powerful because they carry my whole body weight. But sometimes even my body weight is not enough to destabilize him, because sometimes what he does, especially if he's experienced, is he jabs and then he brings his arms up into a double guard. They move in, they move back, especially if you do a lot of sparring. Wing Tsjun community, please do a lot of sparring. Then you will encounter a position where the partner moves in and he brings his arms back. And what I see all the time among my students is the following thing. So they punch against the arms and the effect is 0. Nothing's happening. Not only that, it becomes dangerous for me, the Wing Tsjun person, because since I keep punching against his arms, he's going to be able to just punch me with the right arm whenever he wants to. Or he can even pull my arm, grab it out of the way, and then strike here. This is the moment when I have to shift my concept from push to pull. So when I feel that my punch is not getting where I want it to go, then I have to change the scenario and the energy goes from here to here. I use my hand using what we call a lapso, a grabbing, pulling, jerking arm, and then I lead him sideways so that I can strike from here. What you don't want to do is pull towards you. If I pull toward me, then I'm opening a gap for him to hit me with the other arm again. Instead, you want to describe a little curve, or the letter L, if you will, where I pull and then I push away from me again. If he should want to punch me now with the right arm, it's impossible for him because my energy is going toward the opposite shoulder. One more time. Punch with the right arm. Impossible, especially if I do this, right? So, a few scenarios for this. Let's look at the same scenario if my other hand is forward. Let's say I'm here and he attacks with a punch again. Most of you are familiar with the technique of paksao. Paksao means slapping hands. So I slap his arm out of the way. Even if he's very strong, I'm still going to be able to create a little gap that makes it possible for me to move in, because we don't move at 2 times, but simultaneously. If he just stands there with his arms up, then paksao is the perfect technique. Yeah, it's not a problem at all, even if you have somebody who's extremely strong, to get the arm out of the way while at the same time applying a punch. However, if he punches, then my paksao will be unsuccessful. And now I have to shift my concept from push to pull. It looks like this. I get in contact. This can be anywhere from the fingers all the way to the elbow. And then I pull downward while at the same time taking a step toward his throat and then following up with chain techniques again. The arm moves forward, thereby creating a barrier that makes it impossible for him to hit me anywhere from here to here. Then when I feel that his energy is coming toward me, I'm just using downward energy to pull him down. Now what people say is sometimes, well, he's going to be able to make use of this energy and hit you here. Yes, that's true, but what they forget is that I'm hitting his throat the second I apply that jutsu. So let's take a look at that technique a few times. Well, that's pretty much it for this week's technique. I hope you enjoyed it. Train hard. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a direct message, and make sure to always train your body, but also your mind. Wing Chun is personal development. Keep that in mind. See you next time.